Chapter 37. The Arrangers. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. By those angels ranged in ranks, by those angels who drive the clouds with goodness, by those angels who bring the book, surely your God is indeed one, Lord of the heavens and of the earth, and all that is between them, and Lord of every point of the sun's rising. Surely we have adorned the near heaven with stars for beauty, and to guard against every rebellious devil. They cannot listen to the higher group of angels, for they are pelted from every side. Outcast, theirs is a constant torment. Except such as snatch away something by stealing, they are pursued by a flaming fire of piercing brightness. Then ask them, O Muhammad, are they stronger as creation, or those others like the heavens and the earth and the mountains, whom we have created? Verily, we created them of a sticky clay. No, you, O Muhammad, wondered at their insolence while they mocked you and the Qur'an. And when they are reminded, they pay no attention. And when they see a sign from Allah, they mock it, and they say, this is nothing but evident magic. When we are dead and have become dust and bones, shall we then be resurrected? And also our fathers of old? Say, O Muhammad, yes, and then you shall be humiliated. It will be a single cry, and behold, they will be staring. They will say, woe to us! This is the day of recompense. It will be said, this is the day of judgment, which you used to deny. It will be said to the angels, assemble those who did wrong together with their companions from the devils, and what they used to worship instead of Allah, and lead them to the way of the flaming fire. But stop them. Surely they are to be questioned. What is the matter with you? Why do you not help one another as you used to do in the world? No, but on that day they shall surrender, and they will turn to one another and question one another. They will say, it was you who used to come to us from the right side, and beautify for us every evil, order polytheism, and stop us from the truth and from every good deed. They will reply, no, you yourselves were not believers, and we had no authority over you. No, but you were transgressing people. So now the word of our Lord has been justified against us, and we shall certainly have to taste the torment. We led you astray because we were astray ourselves. Then surely on that day they will all share in the torment. Certainly that is how we deal with the polytheists, sinners, criminals, and those disobedient to Allah. Truly when it was said to them, none has the right to be worshipped but Allah, they puffed themselves up with pride and denied it. And they said, are we going to abandon our gods for the sake of a mad poet? No, he Muhammad has come with the truth, and he confirms the messengers before him who brought Allah's religion. Surely you are going to taste a painful torment, and you will be recompensed for nothing except for what you used to do. Only the chosen slaves of Allah, for them there will be a provision in paradise, fruits, and they shall be honored in the gardens of delight, facing one another on thrones. Round them will be passed cups of pure wine, white, delicious to the drinkers. Neither will they have any pains from it, nor will they suffer intoxication. And with them will be chaste females, restraining their glances with wide and beautiful eyes, delicate and pure, as if they were fragile eggs well preserved. Then they will turn to one another conferring. A speaker among them will say, surely I had a companion in the world who used to mock. Are you among those who believe in resurrection after death? When we die and become dust and bones, shall we indeed be raised up to receive reward or punishment according to our deeds? He will say, take a look. Looking down, he will see that man in the midst of the fire. He will say, by Allah, you nearly ruined me. Had it not been for the grace of my Lord, I would certainly have been amongst those brought forth to hell. Are we then not to die except our first death, and we shall not be punished? Truly, this is the supreme success. For this, let the workers work. Is paradise better entertainment, or the bitter tree of hell? Truly, we have made it as a trial for the polytheists, disbelievers, and wrongdoers. Surely it is a tree that springs out of the bottom of the hellfire. The shoots of its fruit stalks are like the heads of devils. Truly they will eat from it and fill their bellies with it. Then to top it they will be given boiling water to drink. Then thereafter surely their return will be to the flaming fire of hell. Surely they found their fathers on the wrong path. So they too made haste in following in their footsteps. And indeed most of the men of old went astray before them. And indeed we sent among them warners. So see what was the end of those who were warned but did not heed, except the chosen slaves of Allah, faithful and obedient. And indeed Noah invoked us, and we are the best of those who answer requests. And we rescued him and his family from the great distress, and his companions we made the survivors. And we left for him a goodly remembrance among generations to come. Peace be upon Noah from among mankind, jinn, and all that exists. Surely thus do we reward the good doers. Surely he was one of our believing slaves, and we drowned the disbelievers. And surely among those who followed his way was Abraham, when he came to his Lord with a pure heart, when he said to his father and to his people, What is it that you worship? Is it a falsehood other than Allah that you seek? What do you think about the Lord of mankind, jinn, and all that exists? Then he cast a glance at the stars to deceive them, and he said, Surely I am sick with plague. So they turned away from him, and departed for fear of the disease. Then he turned to their idols and said, Will you not eat of the offerings before you? What is the matter with you that you do not speak? Then he turned upon them, striking them with his right hand. Then they came back, hastening towards him. He said, Do you worship that which you carve yourselves, while Allah has created you and also what you make? They said, Build a furnace for him and throw him into the blazing fire. So they schemed a plot against him, but we made them the lowest. And he said, Surely I am going to my Lord, he will guide me. My Lord, grant me offspring from among the righteous. So we gave him the glad tidings of a forbearing boy. And when his son was old enough to walk with him, he said, O my son, I have seen in a dream that I was slaughtering you in sacrifice to Allah. So what do you think? He said, O my father, do that which you are commanded. If Allah wills, you will find me to be of the patient ones. Then, when they had both submitted themselves to the will of Allah, and he had laid him prostrate on his forehead ready for sacrifice, we called out to him, O Abraham, you have fulfilled the dream. Surely, thus do we reward the doers of good. Indeed, that was a manifest trial. And we ransomed him by substituting an animal sacrifice. And we left for him a goodly remembrance among generations to come. Peace be upon Abraham. Thus do we reward the doers of good. Indeed, he was one of our believing slaves. And we gave him the glad tidings of Isaac, a prophet from among the righteous. We blessed him and Isaac, and of their descendants are some that do right, and some that plainly wrong themselves. And indeed, we bestowed our grace on Moses and Aaron, and we saved them and their people from a great distress, and helped them, so that they became the victors. And we gave them the clear scripture, and guided them to the right path. And we left for them a goodly remembrance among generations to come. Peace be upon Moses and Aaron. Thus do we reward the doers of good. Indeed, they were two of our believing slaves. And surely Elias was one of the messengers, when he said to his people, Will you not fear Allah? Will you call upon an idol and forsake the best of creators, Allah your Lord, and the Lord of your forefathers? But they denied him, so they will be brought forth to the punishment, except the chosen slaves of Allah. And we left for him a goodly remembrance among generations to come. Peace be upon Elias. Thus do we reward the doers of good. Indeed, he was one of our believing slaves. And surely Lot was one of the messengers, when we saved him and his family, except an old woman, his wife, who was among those who remained behind. Then we destroyed the rest. Surely you pass by them in the morning and at night. Will you not then reflect? And surely Jonah was one of the messengers. When he ran to the laden ship, he agreed to cast lots, and he was among the losers. Then the fish swallowed him, as he had committed an act worthy of blame. Had he not been amongst those who glorify Allah, he would have indeed remained inside its belly till the day of resurrection. But we cast him forth on the naked shore while he was sick, and we caused a plant to grow over him, and we sent him to 100,000 people or even more, and they believed. So we gave them enjoyment for a while. Now ask them, O Muhammad, are there only daughters for your Lord, and yet only sons for them? Or did we create the angels as females while they were witnesses? Surely it is a falsehood when they say, Allah has begotten offspring or children. Indeed, they are liars. Has he then chosen daughters rather than sons? What is the matter with you? How do you decide? Will you not then remember? Or is there for you a plain authority? Then bring your book if you are truthful. And they have invented a kinship between him and the jinn, but the jinn know full well that they have indeed to appear before him and be brought to account. Glorified is Allah. He is free from what they attribute to him. Only saved are the slaves of Allah, whom he chooses for his mercy. So surely you pagans, and those whom you worship, cannot lead astray except those who are predestined to burn in hell. There is not one of the angels, but he has his known place and position. Surely we angels stand in rows for prayers. Surely we angels, we are among those who glorify Allah's praises. And indeed, the Arab pagans used to say, if we had a reminder, as had the men of old, we would have indeed been the chosen slaves of Allah. But now that the Qur'an has come, they disbelieve in it, and they will come to know. And surely our word has already gone forth for our slaves, the messengers, that they would be made triumphant, and that our hosts, they would be the victors. So turn away, O Muhammad, from them for a while, and watch them, and they shall see the punishment. Do they seek to hasten our torment? Then, when it descends near to them, evil will be the morning for those who had been warned. So turn, O Muhammad, away from them for a while, and watch, and they shall see the torment. Glorified be your Lord, the Lord of honor and power. He is free from what they attribute to him, and peace be on the messengers. And all praises and thanks be to Allah, Lord of mankind, jinn, and all that exists.